You know something's shifted in Washington when the hunters become the hunted. While President Trump's agenda steamrolls forward and his poll numbers soar, there's an extraordinary story unfolding in New York that few saw coming. Remember all those headlines about investigations and prosecutors? Well, sometimes the universe has a way of evening the score, and what we're about to reveal isn't about just one official's potentially fatal mistake. It's about a complete reversal of fortune that has Washington insiders stunned. And when you see what's happening right now between New York and D.C., you'll understand why this could be the turning point that we have all been waiting for. Now, here's the hard truth. Every 6 years, your dollar loses half its buying power. That means a $100,000 savings account today could feel like $50,000 by 2031. And you see it every time you fill up your tank, you buy groceries or pay the bills, prices up, dollars down. But there's a simple way to protect the value of your savings with something that's real and something that's proven. I'm talking about gold, an asset that holds its value over time. That's why I trust Noble Gold Investments. They make it simple to protect your savings with physical gold or silver. No high-pressure sales, no call centers in India, just honest guidance, one-on-one support, and transparent pricing. And right now, when you open a qualified account, Noble Gold will send you a free 10-ounce silver American flag bar. You see it on your screen there. They'll send it to you as a thank you. So head to nextnewsgold.com to learn more. That's nextnewsgold.com. Don't just protect your wealth, preserve its power. That number on the screen, 877-646-5347. When you call and you ask for Colin, tell him that Gary Franchi said hello, would you? Or just, maybe just prank call him. I think that would be funny. Anyway, let's go. No one is above the law. Remember that? Yeah, well, it looks like Letitia James is going to be learning exactly what that means. Okay, so what is it? Yeah, she's actually on her, I don't know what you call it. She's in meltdown mode right now because of what's about to happen. We're going to break it all down. We have the latest news. We just posted the thread to X. It's already going viral, but she's begging.
As you know, we filed a lawsuit against Donald Trump and his family. We secured a $454 million judgment against him, which is on appeal. The case is on appeal. I have no idea when that case will be decided. This investigation into me is nothing more than retribution. It's baseless. It has to do with the fact that on a power of attorney, mistakenly indicated that I was a state of Virginia and
oh, what did she say? Mistake. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Oh, sounds like an admission of guilt to me.
Has to do with the fact that on a power of attorney, mistakenly indicated that I was a state of Virginia, but prior to that, I had indicated to the mortgage broker that, in fact, in bold cap letters, that I am not a resident of Virginia and never will be. And in the mortgage application, I indicated that I would not live in Virginia and I was not a resident. They just took the power of attorney and they're using that as a basis for enforcement for their investigation, when in reality, the power of attorney was never used to determine my eligibility for a mortgage for my niece for a home in the state of Virginia. My niece who has children, and because I loved it on, I wanted her to have a home.
Yeah, maybe you should plead the fifth, right? Maybe you should just shut your mouth instead of making these public statements, because you're only digging your grave ever deeper. Oh, yes, and we've got it all. Roger Stone saying New York's corrupt Attorney General Letitia James is pooping a brick. Public documents proving federal tax evasion, mortgage fraud, campaign finance fraud, and execution of documents which prove she is no longer legally eligible to be Attorney General of New York have been identified. Oh, yeah. You ready for this? The federal fraud storm now engulfing Letitia James. Trump-era watchdog tipping off the DOJ that New York's AG lied on 2 mortgages. Oh, this is a deep dive, folks. Referral landed in April 2025. Probe confirmed early May. FBI, prosecutors, and a Virginia grand jury now digging fast. We have the latest, so buckle up, folks. Here it is. The referral igniting the fraud probe. April 2025. FA Director William Plute sends AG Pambandi a blistering letter. James faked the Norfolk occupancy and shaved Brooklyn brownstones unit to snag cheaper federally backed loans. DOJ could not ignore the red flags. The feds opened the case files. This is the timeline. By early May 2025, DOJ Criminal Division greenlit a full investigation. US Attorney John Sarkoen in Albany takes the lead. FBI's federal field agents open its own file, signaling firm intent. Venue shift keeps politics at arm's length. The grand jury subpoenas fly. Eastern District of Virginia impanels jurors on the rocket docket. First orders sweep James 2023 Norfolk mortgage file. Bank emails and niece Shamisa's testimony on the record. Occupancy claim is now evidence, not rhetoric. Norfolk house occupancy in question. Loan file labels the cottage the James principal residence, unlocking lucrative owner rates. Yet 2 weeks earlier, she wrote in caps it was her niece's home. Agents call that conflict intent to deceive. Oh, yes. Brooklyn brownstone unit mismatch. Records show 5 apartments since 2001, but James refis list only 4, keeping loans under conforming caps. 2 decades of permits flow to a deep federal forensic exam, hunting a pattern of deception. Unusual venue choice. Albany. The case landing with the U.S. Attorney Sarkoen in NDNY, far from James' New York City base. Observers say the DOJ parked it there to avoid conflicts and let an outside jury weigh evidence without city noise and heavy media glare. FBI corruption squad now engaged. Albany agents now interview loan officers, compliance staff, and inspectors. Subpoenas demand every email, every text, and e-signature tied to James' applications. No charges yet, but the temperature is rising fast. The evidence timeline has now been established. April 18th referral, April 24th rebuttal, late April grand jury, May 8th media confirmation. A 4-week sprint shows the DOJ sees felonies worth action by federal standards warp speed for a public corruption case. Legal exposure enormous. Bank, wire, and mail fraud plus false statements each carry 30-year max and a $1 million fine each. 2 properties mean multiple counts. Conspiracy mirrors the same terms. Law license, assets, and freedom are all on the line, all at once. James mounting her public defense, as you saw in the clip that we played at the beginning. She blasts the bullies in D.C. and says that Trump weaponizes justice. April 19th, nationwide cable hits print her fearless, even as feds label her a suspect. She keeps suing Trump policies while under the microscope. Abby Lowell enters the ring. Power lawyer for Hunter Biden and Jared Kushner now defending James. His fee comes from donors plus a $10 million taxpayer fund quietly tucked into the budget. GOP fumes that working families are now bankrolling an elite defense. Taxpayer legal fund backlash. Albany Republicans brand the $10 million pot of slush fund. They promise hearings next week to claw back the cash. Democrats shrug, calling it insurance against Trump vendetta. Taxpayers see another insider perk. Defense calls paper mistake. Lowell's 6-page letter says that the Norfolk POA line was clerical. Brooklyn's unit count allegedly fixed. And no lender ever lost a dime. Doesn't that sound familiar? Remember when Trump was saying, no lender lost anything, right? Well, now it looks like that's a very convenient defense for her. No lender ever lost a dime. He argues lack of intent and cherry-picked paperwork fuel a false narrative. Let's keep going. Investigators are now questioning the intent. Agents say that patterns matter. Unit miscounts across refis and an occupancy claim defying New York residency rules. Clerical errors happen once. Repeating them for better rates looks very calculated, not sloppy. Residency attack emerges. Trump allies argue the Norfolk residency line forfeits the New York domicile, making James ineligible when she sued him in 2024. If courts bite, her $455 million judgment could implode and her AG term face utter retroactive challenge. Media narrative shifting slowly. Local papers, press, national outlets mumble partisan tiff, but subpoenas are facts and leaks show boxes of loan files stacked beside seated grand jury exhibits. Donors are getting rattled. FBI digging decades back. Agents even pulled a 1983 Queens mortgage where James and her father signed as husband and wife. Statute limits bar charges, but it shows casual form fudging stretching 40 years. Evidence that resonates with jurors. Political stakes skyrocketing fast. Pollsters say her favorables dropped 10 points in 2 weeks. Undecideds rise. Democrat leaders stand by her. Yet donors quietly search for a plan B if indictment hits. Confidence already clearly wobbling. Albany hearing showdown nears. GOP legislators set late May subpoenas to grill budget staff on the defense fund. Statewide taxpayers asked why pothole cash was moved to a billionaire lawyer's invoice. Small town voters smell the swamp. DOJ quiet, but they are focused. Spokespeople mutter no comment, yet insiders leak. Public integrity lawyers review evidence nightly. Decisions indict an EDVA for speed, or the Eastern District of Virginia for speed, or the Northern District of New York for optics. AG Pam Bondi now vowing nobody sits above identical federal rules. The clock is now ticking towards indictment. The Eastern District of Virginia's rocket docket moves in months. If agents wrap by the summer, James could face charges before Thanksgiving of 2025, trading campaign rallies for courtroom metal detectors and public mugshot flashes. So what would the conviction mean? One guilty count could yank her license, erase loan perks, and send her to potentially prison for decades. Multiple counts stack fast. Think former Baltimore Mayor D.A. Mosby, but with higher office and louder hypocrisy. License revoked, loan benefits erased, and decades in prison. The broader precedent has now been set. The first time a state AG who sued a president faces a federal mortgage probe from that president's DOJ. Critics shout payback, supporters shout equality. Either way, today's power play can boomerang back hard on future crusaders. Share this thread. Seek justice. If these receipts fired you up, repost and tag friends. We'll track every subpoena until verdict day. Smash follow for unfiltered updates. Our White House hard pass creds keep us in the room. Stay tuned, stay informed, and demand fairness always. Amplify the truth, bury the spin, hit the link, smash repost, and rocket her mortgage scandal to the top of every feed. Each share cranks up the pressure on Albany and the DOJ. Let's make Letitia's nightmare trend worldwide. Boom! That's it, baby. It is only the beginning of payback. Now we're finding out the New York Attorney General Letitia James used her official title to fundraise for Adrienne Adams while under federal investigation and Virginia grand jury scrutiny. Her text message, signed as New York Attorney General, directs donors to act blue with no proper disclaimers. Roger Stone, we covered that. New York Attorney General Letitia James calls the Fed's fraud probe of her retribution. Well, payback's a bitch, honey. Yes. No one is above the law, right? She confessed. Letitia James confirms a mistake that led to the FBI investigation. You saw her say it at the beginning of the clip. America first means safety first, and we are on top of it all. So this is the big story right now. We are tracking it all. Letitia James, these are the last days in the investigation. As I said, Thanksgiving. Let's go back to that post because I want to drive it home. People were asking in the comments on this, when is it going to happen? When are we going to see justice? Well, the timeline, it says that we disclosed here is, yes, Thanksgiving. Where did I put that? The clock is ticking towards indictment. The Eastern District of Virginia rocket docket moves in months. If agents wrap by summer, and they're moving fast, she could face charges before Thanksgiving of 2025. Wouldn't that be something to be thankful for? Justice finally getting served on this woman. She would be trading campaign rallies for courtroom metal detectors and public mugshot flashes. I pray that we see this day. So, what we've revealed shows a dramatic power shift in American politics as President Trump's agenda gains unprecedented momentum with new trade deals on the horizon, gas prices plummeting, policy victories piling up. His former legal adversaries face their own day of reckoning. And the implications stretch far beyond one attorney general's troubles. It raises serious questions about who really held the moral high ground all along. As Trump's vindication unfolds and his policies reshape America, how many more of his critics will face similar scrutiny? Is this just the beginning of a larger reckoning? Share your thoughts and dreams in the comments below. And remember to visit shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and check out our latest merch.